Gotta love those road trips to Phoenix in early September. Week 2 of the season saw the Prescott football team down at Thunderbird High School, where the temperature at kickoff was 106 degrees. And we were broadcasting outside. Well, you drink plenty of water and Gatorade, and when the sun goes down, it's a little more tolerable. Hey, look, I got through the Sammy Hagar concert in 102-degree weather. We got through that game last night, which was quite the test for the Badgers. T-Bird is heavily favored to win the state championship at the 4A level, and Prescott gave them quite a challenge. Game was tied 7-7 after the first quarter. Thunderbird did pull away, but the Badgers closed the gap to within 8. Then came the fourth quarter, and that's where things went off the rails a bit. Just a really slow-moving quarter, a bunch of confusion with T-Bird subbing players, some issues with the clock, a couple of times the chain gang looked unsure of themselves what to do. Then Prescott got hit with 2 quick, unsportsmanlike penalties, and, well, there were a lot of penalties in that game. In fact, you'd think someone plucked all of Big Bird's feathers off and just tossed them all over the ground. And in the end, it was a 36-14 loss for Prescott last night. One of the deciding factors in that game was the play of T-Bird's Elijah Little, who actually is a little guy. 5'8", about $165, but dude is fast, he's shifty, and he's pretty strong, too. He had 159 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns. Badgers just could not stop this guy at all. And for Prescott, Tenacious T, Uriah Tenet, well, he linked up with Johan Gunderman for a 34-yard touchdown throw, and he also had a 1-yard touchdown run. Down one of the Wyatt Pierce, also a pretty good play. Thunderbird botched a punt return. The guy who was supposed to catch actually called a fair catch, and the ball popped out of his hands. And Wyatt Pierce, man, on there like stink on a skunk, as the cliche goes, got that ball. So a really great play there by Pierce. Probably one of the downfalls for the Badgers last night, and running back Cool Breeze, Isaac Brazino, he told me this after the game. Prescott just engaged in way too much trash talking, especially during the second half. That probably took their heads out of the game. But I'm pretty sure that Coach Collette, he's going to address that this week in practice. And I think we'll see a much more disciplined Prescott team on the field next week when they head to Northwest Christian. And yes, KYCA will be there to broadcast and live stream that game. Other football scores from last night. Bradshaw Mountain had a rough time in Tucson. Yeah, second long road trip for the Bears in as many weeks. Last week they had to travel out to Snowflake. Anyway, Bears losing that one 38-7 to Canyon Del Oro. Kylan Jackson, he had a rushing touchdown last night. Keep your eye on this guy this season, because I think you're going to see a lot of good things coming out of Kylan. Chino Valley, they pummeled Brigade Catholic 46-6 last night. So that's back-to-back blowout wins for the Cougars, and it looks like Coach Ricky Herrera and his staff really starting to turn things around in that program. Another harsh night for Mare in the 1A conference. They got shut out by Mogollon 60-0. Wildcats now 3-0 on the season. And that is your Friday football recap. And we have more football for you on KYCA tonight. ASU is home to take on Mississippi State. Kickoff for that game, 7:30, and we'll kick things off with the pregame show at 6:30 p.m. here on KYCA. Also, NFL is underway now. They had their season opener Thursday night. The Chiefs beating the Ravens 27-20. Don't know how many times they showed Taylor Swift during the game. I only caught a bit of the game when I was out eating, and I only saw her once before kickoff, and, hopefully they didn't go overboard with it because the league's obsession with Taylor Swift last year was just ridiculous and annoying. And I know, There are going to be some people out there who think I'm saying that just because I'm salty because Taylor Swift gets so much attention instead of singers like Lizzie Hale of Hailstorm and Floor Jansen of Nightwish and Alina Sarala of Leaves' Eyes. Women who have actual talent and put out music that's actually good. Yeah, you're probably right. Maybe I am salty. What can I say? I just appreciate true talent and not artificially generated popularity. Then, oh boy, then the NFL, they got a real PR black eye before the season even started when that video came out featuring Washington's vice president of content, Rael Enteen, where he was supposedly on a date, but it turned out the woman he was with was actually an undercover reporter with the O'Keefe Media Group. And Enteen, geez Louise. Enteen made a lot of disparaging remarks about Washington's players based solely on their race, accusing them of homophobia, and also saying that NFL fans, and I quote, this is what Enteen said, NFL fans are high school educated alcoholics and mouth breathers. Now, he did call Commissioner Roger Goodell a $50 million puppet, and as much as this Enteen guy is the north end of a southbound horse, I'll give him that one, because Roger Goodell is an absolute useless moron. But after all that came out, Washington fired him, rightly so. This isn't the sort of guy you want representing your organization. And honestly, if you hate the people you're working with and you hate the people who support your team, why are you working for that organization in the first place? When you're working for a professional sports team, heck, when you're working for just any business, your job is to keep your customers/fans happy and to positively promote your organization so it's successful. And you really think that someone with the attitude of this Enteen clown is going to go the extra mile to help make his team successful? Heck no, no way will a guy like that be motivated to give you his best if he despises players based on their skin color or their religious beliefs or their circumstances growing up. And also if he hates the fans who help put money in his pocket. Well, props to Washington for getting rid of this plonker, but it does make me wonder how many other people like Enteen are working in the NFL. Anyway, folks, 928-541-1016, number to call here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup. When we come back, well, I talked about American football to start off the show. Now we're going to move on and talk about football/soccer. What the rest of the world calls, soccer. Anyway, with me in the studio today, I've got Coach Rosie DeWeese. I've also got two of her players from the Yavapai women's soccer team. I've got Mia Hauser and I've got Chloe Brand. So we'll be talking to them on the other side of this break. We'll be back right after this. We are back here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup. John Rust with you here. And joining me in the studio today, I have members of the Yavapai College women's soccer team. I've got two of their players, Mia Hauser and Chloe Brand. And I'm also joined by Coach Rosie DeWeese. Ladies, thanks for being with us here this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us, John.
All right. And, well, Coach, I'm going to start with you because actually you got to bail out of here pretty soon to head down to Mesa. but still, thanks for at least joining us for a little bit of the show here. And, of course, Yavapai off to a pretty good start right now. 3-2 on the season. You've been in a couple of tournaments. You had the Rough Rider Showcase. You went over to Wyoming. And after 5 matches under your belt, just so far, your impressions of how you feel Yavapai is doing.
At this point, we have a winning record, and that's where we want to be. So I think we're doing great. We're far ahead of, I feel like, where we were last year, and we're just getting better every day. We've got a tough match coming up on Tuesday, and we're excited about that. We've been preparing hard, so I think we're in a really good place for where we are this early in the season.
Yeah, because coming up on Tuesday, you will be playing Arizona Western to kick off the ACCAC portion of your schedule. I'm going to go over to Chloe Brand now. And Chloe, Arizona Western is a school you're very familiar with. Can you explain to our audience why that is?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I played there for my freshman season, played there for a year, and then I transferred over to Yavapai. So Tuesday is a very important game for me. Need to get the win and show them that Yavapai is better than them.
Oh, the gauntlet has been thrown down. I love it. And, Mia, again, 5 games you ladies have played so far, and I know there's quite a few new players on the team, yourself included, along with Chloe. So just tell everyone how you feel, what kind of progress you feel this team has made over the past month since you first arrived here for practice to begin.
I think we've made a lot of progress. Even from the first practice, that was a scary sight to see. But I think each and every game we play, we're getting better, having team chemistry and creating chances for wins along the season.
And, of course, you come to us from, well, I want to say Vegas, but technically it's Henderson, Nevada. You played for Coronado High School out there, which sometimes I have to kind of like straighten out my head because we also have a Coronado High School here in Arizona. So when you first set foot on that field at Yavapai and you got a glimpse of what collegiate soccer was like, what were some of the thoughts going through your head?
I was very nervous, and I feel like it was a big change from like competitiveness and like dirtiness or physicality, I would say. But I've only played 1 season of high school soccer, but I would play club. So I definitely like it better, though. I would say that.
Okay. And, Coach, I guess that's one of the things that you have to help out the freshmen with just getting them adjusted from the high school ranks to the college ranks. What are some of the things you do to try to help the freshmen get used to the collegiate style of play?
First thing we do is we spend a lot of time together just in terms of team culture and trying to create that as a foundation. In terms of the physicality, it's just trying to get them to play hard at a high intensity and training every day, getting them to understand how important it is to use their body and to know that it's a physical game. But at the same time, I think that's just one piece. We're also trying to play a little bit smarter and a little bit faster so that we can avoid that physicality as often as possible. As much as important as it is to be a part of it, we have to play around it. That's a smarter thing to do.
Okay. Now, Chloe, you hail from England. In fact, you hail from London, England. So when you came over here to the States, were there any differences you saw between the style of play you had in England compared to here in the States?
I feel like over in England, it was a lot more, we played to feet, we keep the ball. And then over here, I realized the physicality is a lot different, like a lot stronger, a lot faster. They like to play the ball over the top. And I do enjoy that style of play as well. I like being physical. I like putting in a tackle that might go either way. But yeah, I did notice a big difference, especially playing in this weather. Even in Prescott, the weather's still very hot compared to England. So that was a big adjustment for me as well.
Yeah, because I have to go there too, because I know in England, I think over there like 85 degrees is sweltering to the British, where over here 85 degrees is like, it's not too bad. So and of course you started out playing in Yuma, which is just brutal heat down there. So what were some of the things you had to do to make that adjustment to triple digit heat, which I seriously doubt anyone in Britain is used to?
To be honest, I don't think I ever got used to the heat. I'd always step out and be like, oh, it's hot today. But we trained when we was going to play, so that was helping with the adjustment. Same over here, we sort of train when it's hot. So when we go to the cities like Yuma and stuff like that, we're used to that heat already. So I think training when we're going to play and stuff helps as well.
Okay. And, of course, well, along with playing here in Prescott, Yavapai also got the chance to go to Wyoming and play a couple of games, and things went pretty well there. A 2-0 shutout victory over Northeastern, and then a 1-0 loss to Western Wyoming. And, Mia, just talk about the experience that you felt Yavapai had there and how you felt the team maybe grew and improved during those two games.
So since we drove up on Thursday and it was a 12-hour drive, I felt like even in the bus since we were such in close proximity to each other, we were all like hanging out with each other and all like that. For the games, we played pretty well on that first game on Friday against Northeastern. Mm-hmm. We won 2-0, and I feel like even just with one game, however, the weather there, I would say it was kind of weird. I don't know. The air was just like...
There was a fire there.
Yeah.
So the air was pretty bad quality
yeah.
that first day, which...
Big adjustment, I
feel
like.
Yeah, it was. And after a 12-hour drive, I thought even for that, I thought we did well. The score was 2-0, but honestly, it probably could have been 6-0.
Yeah.
We missed some good chances. Yeah. So, yeah, Mia's right. The weather there in that particular weekend was a little smoky.
Yeah.
And, well, Coach, just your thoughts on how important you feel it is to take your players on these kind of trips, get them way out of Arizona. How important is that for the development of a team?
Oh, very important. For us, it was kind of used as a extension of our preseason in terms of team chemistry and retreat, so to speak. They're spending time together in the bus, in the hotels, and in between games, away from home, away from the dorms. And then just getting us into competition with other teams in outside of our region. Playing Division I teams is what we need to be doing, playing them well in order to get ourselves in the rankings at some point. I know last season? Anyway, at one point we came in as a top 25 ranked team through the NJCAA, and it took me about a year to realize that by the time I opened the mail. But but we're looking to get our way back there is my point, and playing these out of region teams is one way to do it. And even our game against Western Wyoming, we came out and scored within the first 30 seconds within our first possession, and it got called back offside, which was a little bit controversial, but in the end we had to score again. We didn't, and so we learned from that and grew from that. And I think even though we didn't get the result we wanted with Western Wyoming, we got a lot out of it to learn and grow from, and we're going to take that going into our next game on Tuesday.
All right. And again, I think a lot of people maybe don't understand how important those kind of games are, to be out there, to have the team, really bond like that. Because as much as talent is important to teams, I think chemistry is even way more important. I'm sure you've seen it in your time as a coach, where you can get a really talented team together, but if they don't get along, if they don't have each other's backs, then all that talent doesn't mean a hill of beans.
Absolutely. And that's been our goal since the beginning of the program. And it's a process, right? But for us, the foundation of the program is culture. And we're trying to establish that with every new class we come in. And this year, we're about half new and half returning. So trying to combine all those different personalities and energies into one personality in terms of who we are as a program and moving forward. It's really important for me to get us on a good foundation of that, and it takes a lot of time and energy, but we're in a good place right now.
In fact, I was going to say, we're now in I think season 4 now for women's soccer at Yavapai, and just looking at where it started and where it is right now, it looks like the progress and the improvement has just been continuing and continuing.
Oh, absolutely. In 4 seasons, I think every year we've gotten better in terms of player for player, and every season I say this, but it's been true. At this point where we are, we were much better than where we were last year. Last year, we were much better than the year before. And it's just a matter of kind of our depth is getting better. We're always bringing in good players and good human beings, but I feel like every year we bring in even more. So been fun to watch the program go, and it's been grow, and it's been awesome to have these two a part of it.
All right. Well, folks, joining me in the studio today, I have Coach Rosie DeWeese from the Yavapai College women's soccer team. Also joining me are two of her players. We have Mia Hauser and Chloe Brand. We'll be talking more with them on the other side of the break. Unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to Coach DeWeese because we don't like her too much, and we don't want her on the whole show. No, I'm kidding. No, Coach DeWeese has an engagement down in Mesa, so she has to get down there. And after being in Phoenix last night, Coach, hope you bring a big cooler bag full of Gatorade and Vita water and regular water, because trust me, you're going to need it. I went through about 3 big bottles last night.
Man. Yeah, I'm going down there to do more coaching with the youth team that I coach here in Prescott Valley. But I think I need a little bit more than
you're going to need a lot more water than that,
I
trust me. And we have the benefit of being out there at nighttime when the sun went down. You got that sun beaming down on you today.
We're supposed to be at about 100, and we're going to be on turf, so we're probably looking at about 115. So it's going to be tough to coach, but those players, they'll be fine.
All
They'll
right.
get through it.
Maybe take some eggs down there and fry them on the turf. Anyway, Coach, we want to thank you very much for joining us today for the limited time you had here. Always appreciate it. And, of course, best of luck to Yavapai the rest of the way.
Thank you, John. I always appreciate your support of the program.
You're welcome. And, before we go to break, folks, time to see who shined over the past 7 days as we present the Tri-City Sports Roundup 3 Stars of the Week. Starting with the ladies, our number 3 star is Hie Louie of the Embry-Riddle volleyball team. She made 23 digs in the Lady Eagles' 3-1 loss to Montana Western last Friday. The number 2 star is Ade Bonner of the Yavapai College soccer team. She notched 2 goals in the Lady Riders' 2-0 win over Northeastern last Friday. And our number 1 star of the week is Kate Wright of the Prescott volleyball team. She recorded 31 assists in the Lady Badgers' 3-2 victory over Arcadia Tuesday. Now for the guys. Our number 3 star is Josiah Peoples of the Prescott football team. Joe Flya had a touchdown catch and returned a punt 60 yards for a score in the Badgers' 56-7 victory over La Jolla last Friday. The number 2 star is Ben Seibel of the Chino Valley football team. He threw 4 touchdown passes in the Cougars' 54-0 drubbing of Kingman Academy last Friday. And our number 1 star of the week is Jeremiah Doublechain of the Chino Valley football team. He recorded 2 sacks and returned a fumble 50 yards for a score in the Cougars' 54-0 rout of Kingman Academy last Friday. Congratulations to all our 3 stars of the week. Break time here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup. We'll be back right after this. We are back here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup. John Rust with you here as Coach Rosie DeWeese has departed as she heads down to Mesa. Good luck dealing with that heat down there, Coach. But we still have Mia Hauser and Chloe Brand from the Yavapai College women's soccer team. And it's time to find out a little something about their teammates. It's lightning round time. So, Mia, I'm going to start with you. Who on Yavapai would you say is the best dressed player on the team? Who's your team fashion plate?
A day.
Oh, are one of our 3 stars of the
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Great. All right, so Chloe, who would you say on Yavapai is the funniest player on the team? Who's the team comedian?
I would say Jill. She's very random with her stuff, and it always catches everyone off
Yeah.
guard. We'll be like, did you say that? And then we're like, yeah, it's Jill. So, yeah, Jill.
Now, on the opposite end, Mia, who would you say is probably the most serious player on the team?
I would say Z. She has that military act that she just puts up, and like she just gives you the death stare sometimes. It's scary.
And actually, Ziana is here.
Yeah.
She is actually your chauffeur today.
Yeah.
Okay, now, Chloe, who would you say is probably the most talkative player on the team? Who's the player, if I interviewed him, I'd just be like, well, you hurried it up already.
I'd say Reagan. She's another one where you'd listen and you're like, okay, you're still talking, but okay. But yeah, Reagan, very funny as well.
Now, on the opposite end, Mia, who would you say is probably the quietest player on the team?
I'd probably say my roommate Sophie. She's very to herself, but she somewhat joins in from time to time. Yeah.
When she feels like it.
Yeah.
Okay, now, Chloe, what player on Yavapai can eat the most in one sitting?
I really hope she don't take this offensively, but Tori, I'll be eating food, a day will be eating food, and if there's any leftovers, Tori will finish it.
So she's not the kind of girl to take home leftovers. She just
No.
polishes everything off. Oh man! And so Mia, here you are playing for the Yavapai College women's soccer team. Now, how did you get interested in playing soccer in the first place?
Well, I really had no choice. My
Wow!
my parents put me in rec league soccer when I was 4, and was like, "You're gonna be the soccer person," because my sister, they tried to put her in soccer, but then she didn't really take to it. So then she was doing dance. So like we gotta have some athletic person in the family. So I've just been doing it ever since. So that'd be about 14 years, and then I don't know. I've grown to love it. So that's good. Yeah.
So basically, it was like all our hopes
Yeah.
and all our dreams
Yeah.
rest with you.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was that dramatic. But maybe it's just the author in me bringing out something like that. So, Chloe, what about you? What got you interested in playing soccer?
Well, originally I didn't play soccer. I didn't start playing soccer till I was 12. I was a rugby girl before, which I say is equivalent to your American football, but a bit different. And I was playing with the boys, got injured, and I was like, this sport isn't for me. Started playing in my high school. And then I had a friend, and she was like, you should play for this team. Started playing, and I haven't looked back. So, yeah.
And, of course, the other thing is, you being from London, what made you decide, I want to go to London, cross the Atlantic, cross about 3/4 of the United States, and start playing college soccer in Arizona?
Yeah. I'd always heard about people going out there, and I've never heard a bad story about someone coming from London to America. All I've heard is they enjoy it and stuff. Also, I think culturally it's good to see how different countries play, especially in like going to different schools and seeing how different schools play. I really enjoy that part of it. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it and could see myself staying out here for a while.
And some other cultural aspects of the United States. I think it was Winston Churchill who actually said the United States and Britain, 2 countries separated by a common language.
Yeah. I think some of the girls sometimes still struggle with my accent a bit. They're like, what did you say? I'm like, oh, what does that mean? But same with me. They say some things and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
And I'm sure it's the same on your end. Like if you call like the parts of a car a boot and a bonnet, and you call sneakers trainers, and people are like, what? And I think when I read some Harry Potter novels, they said like Harry put on his trainers, and I'm like,
what is a trainer?
what? Then I'm like, oh, trainer is what British people call sneakers.
Yeah.
Now I get it. And well, we know that Chloe was also playing rugby over in Britain. So, Mia, what about you? What other sports did you do?
I did flag football in high school,
Mhm.
and along with track and field, I did hurdles for track
Mhm.
because these long legs have to be put to use somehow. But for flag football, I was quarterback while also being a safety.
Hmm.
I think I liked doing flag football because I loved watching NFL.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think flag football has been a sport in Nevada, a high school sport in Nevada for quite a few years
Yeah.
now, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're just getting that here in Arizona. If I was telling you before the show that Prescott and Bradshaw Mountain and Mare high schools, they're fielding their first ever flag football teams this year, and it sounds like that's a sport you really enjoyed, and I think
Yeah.
the people in Prescott and Bradshaw and Mare have something to look forward to,
Yeah.
huh? All right. And Chloe, I think you said, well, along with rugby, your other sport you did was track and field over in England.
I done track and field. So I done 300 meters, and then I done javelin. Surprisingly, I know I don't look like I have the arms for it, but I was pretty good at it. I enjoyed it, but there comes to a point when you play sport, you have to pick one or the other.
Yeah.
And my love was always for soccer, not football, soccer. So yeah.
Yeah. And I know, like a lot of coaches say that sometimes athletes who are engaged in track and field, that helps them out with other sports. Did you feel like doing time in track and field helped you with some of your skill sets in soccer?
100%. I feel like track and field, because it's an individual sport, is very mentally challenging. Like, you're in your own head a lot. So playing soccer definitely helps that, because you come up with coping mechanisms to deal with it. And doing 300 meters, it's a short race, but it's a sprint. So it definitely helped with my fitness, and training outside of it as well helps with your fitness. You're running.
Yeah.
And javelin, I had to build a bit of muscle in my arms, so it helped me stay a bit stronger on the field as well.
And Mia, it sounds like you feel the same way Chloe does about how much track and field can help you out on the soccer field.
Yeah, because along with doing 300 hurdles, I also did the 400, so it's one lap around the track. It's brutal because it's like you're sprinting the whole time and you really just want to jog, but like you have to sprint. And along with what Chloe said, like the practices, it's like you're working out the whole entire time. There's like no breaks really, and you're like getting the sprint aspect, but also getting like the
Endurance.
endurance. Yeah. So like it helps keeping your pace up in soccer, and like also like your agility.
Because I know that is one of the issues that some people have with youth sports, where they feel like too many kids are just specializing. They stick with one sport, and a lot of people. I'm one of them. I advocate being a multi-sport athlete. And again, I know soccer is your primary sport, but do you feel for some other for younger athletes, do you feel like you would want to encourage them to try to play other sports, if for no other reason than just take a break from your primary sport before you get burned out on it?
Yes, for sure, because you might, although it's like you might think of it as a sport, you can easily make more different friends with the different sports you play, and like you may not think you could like that sport at first, but then you try it and you like love it. So like just try anything.
Chloe, you feel the same way about being a multi-sport athlete?
100%. I definitely don't think at a young age you should close yourself off, because you never know what will happen and what will come up, and you'll be like, I should have done it in the past, or I should have done that. You don't want to live with regrets. So definitely try everything and then find your love for that certain sport.
Okay. And well, Mia, first off, what made you decide that Yavapai College was the place you wanted to go to continue your soccer career?
So at first I didn't really have any offers, or like not many colleges were interested in me. I also felt like I wasn't ready to go far away from home per se. But there was one time during Surf Cup, which is a tournament for club soccer, Yavapai like reached back out to me or came and watched a couple minutes of my game, and I really liked the coaches and like how they were so welcoming and everything. And it was also nice. I know this is probably not the best thing to say, but it was on the cheaper side of things. So it's like it more encouraged my decision to go here. So yeah.
Hey, economics is a fine reason to go,
Yeah.
and that's where a lot of other people go the community college route. Actually, when I graduated from high school, I went the community college route too back in Jersey, because I went, hey, okay, I can get a pretty good education for a lot less money than
Yeah.
some of these other schools. And honestly, going to Mercer County College was probably the best decision I ever made. I had a blast there and got a darn good education.
Definitely, yeah.
So, Chloe, what made you decide to jump ship from Arizona Western to Yavapai?
So after my first year at Western, I was like, I'm not sure if America's for me. So I went home, and then I realized I hated being home. Love seeing family, don't get me wrong, love seeing family, but I missed being out there. So around June time, I started looking at schools, and I remember when we played Yavapai at Western, it was a hard game, and I enjoyed the fact, like, they put up a challenge, and it showed, like, the team culture of it, like, they're willing to fight. And I also wanted to stay in Arizona. I love Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
So I reached out to Rosie, got talking, and then didn't look back. Now at Yavapai, and I'm really enjoying it.
Good. And again, after about a month at Yavapai, just your thoughts on if you feel that was a good decision for you, Mia?
I definitely feel like it was a great decision because it's just so encouraging to be here. And, like, you may think it's like, oh, you're away from home, but, like, I think you need that at some point in your life. And, like, the team's very, like, welcoming. And since I knew my roommate beforehand, it's even better because, like, I have someone that I can relate to or, like, talk to in certain times.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. And I guess that's one of the challenges for people going to a college sport because, when you're in high school, when you're in club, it's like you're around the same people for many, many years. And Chloe, just talk about what your experience is like, not just coming from a different state, but just coming from a different country, coming to Arizona and, leaving your familiar friends behind and trying to make a new set of friends.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's always difficult saying goodbye, but because we all play the same sport, we already have that common interest, so you have something to talk about, and then as soon as you step on the field, it's like you've known these girls for a while. It's not like, oh, this is the first date. No, you're all here for the same reason, and you're all playing for the same reason, so that brings you together. But it is difficult, but I definitely think having an accent helps people come talk to me. They're like, can I do an English accent? I'm like, sure. I'm like, do I sound like that? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, oh. So, yeah, the accent does help a bit as well.
Yeah. I still get that, too, because people still think I still have my Jersey accent. It's like, you're from the East Coast. It's like, what are you talking about from the East Coast? I think I still do have my Jersey accent. Oh, well. And Mia, what about for you? Again, I'm sure you were around the same girls for quite a few years. Then you come to Yavapai. So what was it like for you to be like, oh, man, now I got to make a whole new set of friends?
Yeah, because I was with my club team for, like, maybe, like, 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was so nervous coming here just because I was like, I'm not going to make any friends. I don't know what to do. Like, what the heck? But then, like, my parents were like, Mia, you're so good at making friends, whether it be in school or sports. So, like, just go and, experience it. And I got here and, like, so there's a girl named Poppy on our team, which she's also from London, England. So, like, I would I would talk to her on Snapchat and everything. And then I met her in person. I'm like, we're like best friends. Like, I don't know. And then I'm so close with Z already because we're like have a friend group and everything. It's like you think you're not going to make friends, but then you do it and you're like, this was so easy.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chloe, now that this is your second year playing college soccer, for anyone out there who's in high school, maybe middle school, maybe they do have the desire to play college, what advice would you give them now that you've got 2 seasons of college soccer under your belt?
I would say definitely do it, but be prepared. It's not always a smooth road.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there will be ups, there will be downs, but the ups definitely outweigh the bad times. But you will make friends for life. Like, I'm still friends with my friends at Western, and it's such a good experience. And I feel like if you're not sure about going, definitely go down the JUCO route to start because it's a lot more calmer. You're more with your coaches. Definitely do it, 100%. I don't regret it at all. And I'm sure the girls after their first year won't regret it at all as well.
And Mia, that's another thing I want to bring up, going the junior college route, because as I like to say, I think a lot of athletes, when they think of college, they have as I call it, the D1 stars in their eyes, like, oh, yeah, I want to play for Rutgers or Ohio State or ASU or something like that. And, people may actually look, and I know there are people out there who look down at the noses of junior colleges.
Yeah.
For the people who have that attitude, what would you say about them, the benefits of playing in the junior college ranks?
I would definitely go junior college route because, like, D1, you might not even play. Like, you might sit on a roster that has 30 people and, like, oh, I went to ASU, I get to play D1, but you're not really playing D1. So, like, and then junior college, you're so like close with the coaches, like Chloe said, and your teammates. Like you get to have the playing time, you get to experience the college level. Although it may not be D1 level, you're still experiencing college level, and like I said, it's cheaper. Like why not just do that?
Hey, in this day and age, it's no sin trying to find a cheaper alternative to college. And the other thing is, after you put in 2 years, you might have a shot at the D1 level, and that's happened to a lot of people who've played at Yavapai.
Yeah, because like you get the 2 years here, and you can easily go up to D2, D1, and if you want to D3. But like, if you start at D1, you could easily just like not ever play soccer again. So it's like, which one do you want to take?
Yeah, exactly. And, of course, speaking of playing soccer, we just got a minute or so left here. And, Chloe, of course, big game coming up at Ken Lindley Field Tuesday here in Prescott. It's Yavapai versus Arizona Western. What do you expect out of that game with your former club?
I think it's going to be a very, very difficult game for both teams. I think there's going to be a few cheap tackles coming in and there. But I think it's going to be a game of 90 minutes. We've got to stay focused 90 minutes and put the work in. But I'm confident we're going to get the win.
All right. And again, that game is going to be over at Ken Lindley Field on Tuesday at 6 p.m. And I think the men play Arizona Western right after that.
That'll be a
Right
good game
before.
as well.
Oh, right before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That'll be
Okay.
a very good
They play
game.
before this season. Before us this season.
Oh, okay. So it'll be the men at 4 and then the ladies at
Yeah.
6.
It's
Okay.
switched.
Got it now. All right. So should be 2 really good soccer games over Ken Lindley Field on Tuesday. Head on over there and check it out. Well, Mia Hauser, Chloe Brand, Yavapai women's soccer team. Want to thank you very much for joining us here on the studio. Best of luck Tuesday night
Thank
against the
you.
Matadors. And, of course, best of luck the rest of the season. We'll be keeping track of you here on our sports reports on KYCA.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Well, folks, that's going to do it for our show. Be sure to join us next Friday night. We're going to be down at Northwest Christian in Phoenix for Prescott football. Pre-game show at 6:45, kickoff at 7 o'clock on the radio side. Also live streamed on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Join us for that week 3 of Prescott Badger football. That's going to do it for us, folks. Dr. Hancock is next with Healthline. Then at 10 o'clock, it's Drive Time AZ at 11 o'clock. Eye on Prescott here on KYCA. We'll see you again.